as we go into our next segment. So it's time
Yes.
for our NBA talk, Connor. Who's our team this week?
This week we're talking about the 2020 NBA champions, LA Lakers. So we're reviewing them just for all of our listeners out there. What we do is we pick one team a week, kind of review their record, where they're at, talk about their upcoming games, and maybe give a couple storylines or two that we're following.
So the Lakers this year right now are 22-7, but they're actually second in the East to the Jazz. They're 9-4 at home and 12-3 on the road. And this week is an interesting schedule for them. So they lost to Denver with an interesting LeBron take on that Denver Nuggets game that's in news and came out. They play Minnesota on the road, and then to finish out the week, they have the Nets and the Heat at home. But besides some LeBron James stories, which are very small, the Lakers are all about AD, all about Anthony Davis. He leads their scoring, he leads their field goal percentage, and he's a top 3 producer for their 3-point percentage shootings. But he's not okay. What is up with him, Connor?
Yeah, Anthony Davis has tendinogosis going on in his Achilles. No, he's had a nagging heel injury on the Achilles, and he had he's going to be out for the next 3 weeks. Kind of bottom line, right? I think for Anthony Davis, that's a big man. It's just a usage thing, right? He's 7 foot, has a ton of weight on that foot. They played deep in last season, right? And I think that this could actually be a real blessing in disguise if this is really just kind of the 9 games before the All-Star break. If the Lakers can, stay, let's just say 6-3 over that 9-game stretch, maybe lose a spot in the conference standings, maybe not. But and then give some other guys some opportunities to excel. I think that really could be a blessing in disguise in terms of Anthony Davis and his injury.
It'll be interesting to see how they rebound and how people sort of pick up from him being out, because they have leaned on him so much. He had an MRI, so he hasn't completely destroyed that Achilles. Like you said, it should be up to the All-Star break with these 9 games. It's about 2 to 3 weeks. Connor, what is your take with the Lakers? So even though they are second, they're going to slip. What is your take with the Lakers kind of sitting in second place right now, where they were so dominant in the bubble and during last year, but the Jazz are pulling ahead in the West?
Man, Rudy Gobert, that's the story, right? He's a stud. I think yet again, it's not. If the seeds hold true, let's say the seeds are what they are today, right? You've got the Warriors as the 8th seed, and then you've got what was it? I'm forgetting off the top of my head who the 7th seed is, but the San Antonio Spurs are the 6th seed, and kind of as you kind of look through potential playoff matchups, being the 3 seed and playing San Antonio without a superstar as in your first round might not be the end of the world, right? I think that it's an older veteran team. You get somebody like Kyle Kuzma. It's kind of like, all right, dude, time for you to step up and shine here. I think that the Lakers, yet again, this could be a real blessing in disguise to give Anthony Davis some rest, get his foot right for a nice deep playoff run. The Lakers still have they've got, I believe it was roughly a 10 points per game differential. Jazz are about 9.5 points per game differential. So both teams are beating teams by a lot. It's not a, I guess the way I see it really yet again is, if Anthony Davis gets his foot right and gets that rest because he is a little bit older, man, the rest of the playoffs could be a real issue for the rest of the league.
It could be really big. This could be also the time to see is what do the Lakers do? I'm with you. Does Kyle Kuzma step up? Does LeBron James put the team on his back? Does he flop harder? If you haven't seen, LeBron James got called out for flopping and warned by the NBA this past Sunday when playing the Nuggets. for some pretty fake injuries to where younger players on the Nuggets just yelled at him, "You're flopping." And with no fans in the stands, you can hear that type of on-court talk. So we'll see what they do to evolve, how they go. I am with you though that if you're a Lakers fan, you shouldn't be worried about what's going on. AD will rest up; he'll be better. They're still a talented enough team, still second in the West to make a run. So that's with the Lakers. We have in our picks, we're going to talk about some of the rest of the games through their week, and we'll also talk about what we think they're going to do with these 3 games coming up on their schedule. But another schedule